What's up? Welcome back to the series that I'm doing. Just a deep dive into femininity and how it relates to how we want to express it, but we may have not been shown, or in our past, something got in the way of us truly expressing our femininity in a healthy way. And I'm glad you've been sticking with me through our series. We're in week 4. Can you believe it? Thank God. I thank God for really helping me with the consistency and really being here, because I've been online for the past 2 years, but I'm really trying to hone in on it and speak to the feminine women that are in my tribe. Okay, the young ladies, the career driven woman, hyper independent, or the boss babe. So a lot of these things where we put other things before what we truly need, and we may not know how to articulate that, but I am bringing all these attributes, all these things I've written out to your attention, and things that I've experienced, because we are crying on the inside that we want that love, that we want to be treated in a certain way, but we just don't know how to communicate it. So often we kind of put it under the rug, or we try to fill a void, and it's usually not a good way that we fill that void. So thank you for sticking with me on this journey, and we're going to talk about that emotional armor that I just described. And it usually starts when something doesn't feel safe. As women, our number one priority, because we are considered the weaker vessel in a lot of attributes, physically, most definitely, then underneath us is children. So women really, prioritize being safe. But sometimes life just isn't safe. And look at that young lady that went on a trip with her so-called best friends, and she did not make it back home. I just seen a video of a woman coming out of the gas station, and a man attacked her with a hammer. So when you're seeing these things, it makes you think, I gotta stay guarded. And you should stay guarded. But in emotional, when it's time to transition over into the relationship part of your life, we shouldn't be so guarded with the armor. But as we all know, some happened in the past. And in the past, maybe trust was broken. Maybe emotions weren't handled gently. Maybe you had to protect yourself. Yeah. So you learn to stay guarded, to stay in control. I think we overlook that we have these mechanisms in place, and just we condition ourselves, and it becomes normal, and if you're not aware of it, then I understand. I have compassion towards that. But when you're trying to progress in relationships and coming close, but there's no cigar, you get engaged 6 times, but you just can't hit the home run, or just things are out of whack, we really have to start looking at what's going on here. What's going on here? And as I said, maybe trust was broken. Now you have this not global, but this overarching view that I can't trust nobody anymore. I only trust myself. And maybe emotions weren't handled gently. People were always cold, dismissive of you, and you gave your all, and people didn't listen, people didn't treat you right. So now you're a savage. Now you're cold. Now that has changed your whole personality, so you can protect yourself. You will say nobody's going to get the one up on me no more because they made me feel this small when all I was trying to do was whatever was you were trying to do, help, be nice, you know. And you had to protect yourself. Sometimes, you know, in our childhood, we grow up in not so good situations, and you have to move a certain way because if you didn't, you know, unfortunate things, you didn't want to get harmed. So you made yourself small. You stayed out the way. So these armors that built up in everyone's life, I understand. But man is not meant to be alone. Woman is not meant to live life alone. So if you just have friendships, or if you get into that relationship, that emotional armor that you have, you know, we have to work on that and learn to trust, learn to be vulnerable, because a person can't really love you how they should be able to love you if you're only giving them bits and pieces of them to love. Now, but it feels so good and freeing when somebody loves all of you. It really is. And the sooner that we work on that guardedness, on that armor, and we start to take a buckle off here, take the helmet off, you know, then the people can really see, oh, I didn't know you had blue eyes, or I didn't know you had cornrows. You know, like people can start to see you when the armor is taken off. Okay. All right. And over time, that protection becomes your default. You know? So, you know, I wonder why we just have all these conversations over and over and over again, because so many people are going to their default. Because it's safe, it's familiar, and, you know, I'm good over here. But then we get into these problems again where you want to reach out, but you just don't know how to do it beyond being guarded, you know, because you don't trust. But we're going to start opening up. I believe we're going to start taking accountability that, yes, I have been guarded. Yes, I'm kind of, don't want like people, or I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, just know that you move a certain way, you know, and you can be a good person, good personality, and nobody will know, because people can sense that. People can sense how guarded you are, like aloof. People can sense it in your body language and your tone. And I just think that's something that we can overcome, you know. But here's the part women don't realize. That same armor that protects you can also block the connection you want, as I said. We want connection. Life is meant to be in connection. You cannot even look at your phone and look on social media if there was no connection. No Wi-Fi connection, because the bill wasn't paid or whatever, or there's no the signal isn't strong. All right, so when there's a little signal, you can't really get. But when there's a strong signal, now you can make connection. We don't want no weak connection, right? We don't want no weak signals. Okay, we want strong signals, confident. Hi, nice to meet you. Okay, cool. Smile. Strong signals. Letting that femininity come through and help you. Help you be soft. Help you open up. Don't be afraid. When a person can see you, I would like to help that person. Yeah, try it. and and we're not gonna be blocking the connections that we want because it's wasting our time, wasting your time. Yes, you broke up. Yes, it hurt, but try to heal as fast as you can. If you're seeking a new connection, you can't let just 10, 6, 7 years go by and not actively be doing anything, or at least seeing who, becoming your best version of yourself, or, seeing the new type of attract of guys you want to attract. But we will let 10 something years go by. That's ridiculous. And the healing often begins when you slowly allow yourself to soften again, as I stated before. Be soft. God wants you to express your femininity. Express the beautiful parts of being a woman, the smile, the batting of the eye, hello, the kindness, the gentleness, the sweet voice, the nurture. Those are all safe things. Those are all things that are inviting. So you can't be guarded if you were built to be inviting. Let's start tearing down those emotional guards, because there's so much to experience in this world, and we don't have to hide. We can be bold. We can face things head on in a calm authority and mean business and love all at the same time. Thank you. It's Stephanie Thompson with the Wife School Podcast. Like, share, and subscribe if you found anything valuable on today. See you next time.